We are here in Leitz Park, but you know what? The most exciting thing, it's Tim Pan.
Hi guys, I don't know if you still remember me, but I was Kai's slave. But I think the most important part is on the side.
Oh yeah, of course.
Don't forget
it. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, this is what we're here for, the SL3. The SL3, it's third generation. They've tweaked it. They've made it smaller, lighter, more compact, which is good. It's still got that weight there of a Leica camera because it's just this big block of metal shaped nicely into a camera-like shape. It is gorgeous.
It looks amazing though.
Yeah, I mean, as far as design goes,
the build quality and everything.
You can't beat it.
It's a magnificent looking magnesium and aluminium mirrorless marvel that we had the pleasure of testing out at Leica's event in Wetzlar, which we thoroughly enjoyed, and she's enjoying it perhaps a little bit too much. There were cars, Tim Pan, Saxman, and another man filming when Tim wasn't available who seemed more interested in something else other than a cool new embargoed Leica.
Oh look, it's a Leica native trail.
Wow.
Handmade in Germany. But this camera is made in Germany. We saw the people making it.
They are professional though.
They are
I'm not gonna lie. It's one of the best factories I've ever seen.
They mentioned that they tilt the screen like thousands of times just to test if it's got the robustness. And the shutter button like hundreds of thousands of times. Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't think tilt screens come any more robust feeling than this 3.2-inch 2.3 million dot one. When the rest of the camera is built like a brick outhouse, it would make sense for the LCD to be a weak point.
The tilty flippy screen.
Leica seem to be liking tilty flippy screens, or maybe not flippy, it doesn't flip out, but it tilts a bit like the Q3. I mean, the idea is that now with a tilty flippy screen, you don't have to get a low down, you can, you know, at least do a squatty action like I'm doing right now.
Elegant.
Elegant, yes.
As elegant as you'll get for an I'm taking a crap in the woods pose. Still, at least it's better than the alternative for low down shooting.
I've still got the video of you in Richmond Park. Like a worm.
I remember that.
They've done it well, I think, even though it doesn't sit flush. Somehow it kind of looks all right. I don't know if it's because it's kind of stepped here and then there's another step, so.
As much as I like the Q3, the tilt screen integration sort of breaks up the smooth, sleek lines of the body, protruding slightly uncomfortably out of the side and corner. Although the tilt screen juts out a little on the SL3, it gels better with the overall design and it doesn't cause any discomfort when holding the camera.
But one thing they said is like when you're using this position, it does not obstruct by the viewfinder.
So they've thought about it. It's true.
It's well thought. Yeah, it does not obstruct.
Okay, I think the tilt screen talk tea has been milked thoroughly enough. Moving on to some of the juicy new bits.
But it got a new sensor.
Yes, it's got a new sensor. So you've seen it in the Q3, you've seen it in the M11, and you're seeing it again. It's a 60 megapixel sensor. So they're just kind of evening it up, you know, leveling up the playing field, 60 megapixels all around. So you don't think, okay, I'll choose that camera because it's got more megapixels. All of the Leicas that you want to buy, it's got the same megapixels. So you don't need to worry about that.
The 47 megapixels of the SL2 is by no means low res, but this is a 60 megapixel BSI sensor, which makes it, for resolution, competitive with Sony's high res heavy hitter, the A7R5.
Oh, look at that, it's a little
The
Sport optic.
Oh, there's a Leica woodhouse.
Yes, look at that.
Oh man.
This is cute. It might be locked. Ow.
Oh no, it's a shame.
Ow.
Oh, there's a Leica fire. They put their badge everywhere.
They do, yeah.
More importantly, the SL3 makes its mark by producing some incredibly fine-looking raw files, which I can actually check out because they're DNG. No need to wait for Adobe updates.
Oh, look at this, Tim. There's suddenly a lot of cars.
Yeah.
You managed to cut away from a forest with no leaves on to this. Look at that. It's amazing. Made a wall of cars there.
It's too bizarre to even look like a miniature set.
If you step back far enough, it looks like a miniature set.
That's a cool car.
That's a cool, but famously quite a rubbish car. If they didn't have it in Back to the Future, it would be just a rubbish car. Maximum burst rate, it shoots 4-bit.
You mean 4-bit or 14-bit?
Yeah.
4-bit would be a bit too less.
It'd be very basic. So it takes 14-bit files, but if you bump up the
12-bit.
if you bump up the burst rate, so where's it changed? So 6 FPS is the max you can do at 14-bit. Oi, any more than that? 1 FPS more and it drops down to 12-bit. Oh, 15 FPS. No, that's not bad. Considering
nice.
60 megapixels.
Let's do it.
Oh, that must be electronic shutter, isn't it?
It's actually taking photos.
Apparently. Yeah, because there's no blackout.
All right.
The detrimental effect of using an electronic shutter for burst is the rolling shutter, which doesn't take much provocation to produce the old hello jello effect.
This is the car you need, Tim.
Which one?
This one.
Yeah. I totally can fit into it.
The chicks will dig this in China, I tell you. Honestly.
So if you want to use a mechanical shutter, what's the fastest burst it will do?
So 15 FPS is electronic shutter.
Yeah.
The next one down is 9 FPS.
Still electronic. So which one goes for non-electric shutter?
Oh, 7 FPS.
Only 7 FPS.
7 FPS max for mechanical shutter.
The maximum mechanical shutter burst rate has gone down from the 10 FPS of the SL2, a slight compromise made in the quest for mega amounts of megapixels. But despite an increase in resolution, there seems to be no compromise in low-light imaging. The backside illuminated sensor with new Maestro 4 processor produces some clean-looking files despite being 60 megapixels. Even when the ISO is bumped up, it keeps those details while not having problematic chroma noise until you creep up towards ISO 32000. They are really robust files that have plenty of room for pushing. Pulling back details from overexposed shots not easy, that's standard, but underexposed shadows can be pushed quite a bit without introducing distracting noise.
I'm sure we can fill in the video with some B-rolls of some interesting shots.
Hope so.
Yeah. Boom, here's one. Boom, here's another one. Here's your manager. Oh no! She doesn't manage you.
I manage her.
You manage her.
Other people.
She's under you.
Yeah.
Boom.
By the way, the SL3 now has subject detection, face, eye, body, and also animals. Thankfully, Nancy has most of these in the optimum quantity other than the animal part, obviously.
The Q3, looking at focus, it looks very Panasonic-like.
Well, I guess that's what happens with an alliance, is that characteristics are inevitably allied.
Yeah, let me see if it recognizes you. Oh, it does.
It does look a bit Panasonic-y, doesn't it?
It's not look like, it literally is.
So that's the thing I find funny, is that they do kind of change all the interface and stuff like that and make it very nice looking. But the auto-focusing system looks very Panasonic-like.
Still, the important thing is that the air performs to a good standard from what we could tell. It's not like we really got to test it to the max. There were F1 cars, but they weren't doing F all.
Right, if it's like the Q3, I use that for street photography and it's pretty good. Are there faster focusing cameras? Probably. But maybe you'd say Leica's not that kind of camera.
When you think Leica, you probably think street, documentary, photojournalism. You think the M. The SL has always been about embracing modern technology, allowing more technical kind of photography. The SL3 can do the street stuff, but having phase detection autofocus, along with high resolution, it will surely make this a great technical camera for places like the studio.
Yeah, so even like that, when there's subject in front, but you don't want to actually focus on that, it's got a box on the subject in front, a box on the subject in the background, and you just toggle it with this little nipple button here. It's got yellow box, that's what it's selecting, that's what it's going to focus on, and you just move this to toggle between the subjects in the frame. This guy should be a model. It's hair. Of course, when you're taking portraits, you're not going to have somebody, hopefully, you won't have something in front of you. But I'm just showing you, aren't I? Like if you're taking street photos, you can kind of toggle between people.
It's a convenient feature to have, especially in environments where there are more than one human subjects in a scene. The speed and accuracy of the Q3 autofocus instills plenty of confidence in focusing on moving subjects, although maybe not for anything too sporty-like.
It would be great if they were actually moving, because then you can test autofocus out, but that's fine.
I mean, I've just tried it. The autofocusing video is quite bad, to be honest. Yeah, to be honest, it's not good.
Oh, come on, Tim. Bad is perhaps a little strong. It doesn't hunt around like crazy and then focus on something other than the blatantly obvious. It's just that it can take a bit of time to do the focusing. Hey, there we are.
It's better than, let's say, some older Panasonic autofocusing for video.
I still remember the days I was using the GH6 with Kai and literally...
GH6?
Yeah, GH6 and GH5.
GH5? Yeah, you didn't have GH6, did you?
Oh wait, no.
No, that was
GH5.
GH5.
Sorry, my bad. So we were doing like GH5 review with Kai, and then we used the camera, and every single time it's like the video is out of focus.
The previous generations of SL were geared up for video. The OG SL was fine, the SL2 better, and I think the SL2S was the best for video. You could say it's a bit S5 like. The SL3, well, it has the connections you need.
USB-C 3.1, HDMI 2.1, Type A, a full-size HDMI, headphones, jack, and there's a timecode jack in here.
And also CF Express Type B, and it takes 8K video.
So yeah, I'm taking some video, 8K video of the action. Got the subject detection on. It's working all right. Sometimes there's a moment just now where it wasn't quite focusing, but at least it's not doing a wobble. So I've got it's picking up on Pat's bottom. I'd say it knows it's a human bottom, so it's got a box on his bottom there, and you can choose between his bottom and the model's face handily. When it comes to the resolution for video, at first it's like, where is it? Actually, it's not immediately obvious. So the first sub-menu there, it's focusing, and you have to go down to video profiles, and then you have 4 different profiles, or 5, sorry, and you can choose the resolution there.
The idea is that once you've set up the profiles, it's quick and easy to access via the quick and slick UI.
The new customizable interface there.
Essentially, it's had a mild declutter and makeover from the SL2's UI.
I mean, I really like the interface. It's quite nice. The newly designed interface, it's quite easy to use. You know, press the menu, you know, just press on the buttons. The new interface, I think the slider is quite organic to use. It's similar to your smartphones.
And I think when you're pressing it, there's enough space. It doesn't feel cluttered. It's nicely spaced.
Yeah. Although it's a little bit laggy right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure in the future will that be better.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it's not as
Final
smooth as
release.
a smartphone.
They changed the icons. They spent so much time just talking about the change of icons.
I mean, the icon looks really cool.
Yeah.
It is these little things that actually do make a big difference. And those icons rotate with the camera too.
Yeah, this
Obviously,
is
you
quite
wouldn't
smart.
Yeah.
So you got the landscape and the portrait menu system. It's good for TikTok.
Oh, how dare you talk about TikTok. Oh, how dare you.
For horizontal or gasp vertical video, you can take it in up to 8K 30p or 4K 60p, L-Log 709 hybrid log gamma. The colours look great, no correction here, and the noise levels are good, even when compared to the A9 freeze footage taken in roughly the same spot. Overall, it packs a decent video mode, but going back to what Tim said about the continuous AF for video, the subject detection works well for video. Mostly it locks onto the subject, although there are times that it pulses quickly a little, but remains focused on the subject, mostly. One thing that is nicely done is the stabilization, which makes handheld shots really quite stable, unless you plan on panning the camera.
I want to whip it around like that. You can see a little bit of rolling shutter.
Nice. Look at this direction.
You'll face some quite noticeable rolling shutter in 8K and 4K 30p. However, there is less rolling shutter if you film in 4K 50 or 60, which is worth considering seeing as you'll get a Super 35 crop in not just 4K 60, but also 4K 30 and 8K too.
And they got ProRes recording in camera.
Yeah.
It's also worth noting that you shouldn't expect to be filming for long on just the standard battery.
The battery is bad.
Yeah, the battery drains so fast.
I was trying to take some video and then I thought, okay, I was shooting 8K. I thought, okay, I need to take some photos. I better stop.
I mean, it's still like a photocentric camera.
Yeah.
The SL3 with just one standard battery is rated to give you 260 shots. I managed to take 438 shots, RAW and JPEG combined. 1 minute 11 seconds of 8K video and 6 seconds of 4K video. Thankfully, there are accessories to provide additional power.
You can either get the battery grip, the photo battery grip, or they've got a little thing to the dummy battery to put in it.
One thing is that when a camera's on standby, apparently it doesn't sap the battery power, which is just as well, given that they've changed the placement of the power button.
And the power button is a new one.
I don't know if I like that, do you?
I think it's a bit polarizing in that.
Does it even light up?
Yeah, if you press it, it should light up. Yeah, it glows. I can see it.
Oh, it's good actually that it switches off when you use the viewfinder.
Oh yeah, that's smart.
I was thinking that if you put it up to your face and you're a right eye shooter, it's just going to be glowing in your face.
They sing about it.
You're taking a photo? No, look at me.
It was a power switch before and it was on the left side too, but I just wish they'd moved it to the right side.
Because, you know, cameras always used to having it one-handed, you flick it on here and you're ready to shoot.
Now it's two-hand process.
Two-hand process.
Oh well, let's end with something positive, shall we?
You got the photo apps, so it's a lot easier to transfer. I think they pay quite a lot of money to get a new Wi-Fi protocol.
Yeah.
I think 40 megabytes per second on wireless.
Oh yes.
A lot faster for connected cable.
Yeah. So you can transfer a RAW file in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Which is quite a bit faster than before. So, and this is 60 megapixels. 60 megapixel RAW file.
And it does the tethering with what's that called?
Capture something one phase, yeah. Capture one.
Capture one, yeah. So it does the tethering with that.
Yeah.
So for the true pros,
yeah,
they're gonna love it.
True pros with a bit of money.
Dare I say, 6,000 is a good price for the SL3. It's a bargain. In the world of Leica. Cheaper than an M11, a smidgen more than a Q3, but it can do a whole lot more. The SL3 is Leica's best culmination of tech, design, and desirability. It will look fabulous on display in your home, but will be equally at home in the most harshest of conditions, where you can rely on it to produce some truly sumptuous looking 60 megapixel files. It's a workhorse pro grade camera that almost anyone can pick up and use with ease.
This or the A9 III, £6,000.
You know what, actually I would choose this one.
I think so too.
If it's for my personal drawing,
yeah.
I would choose this one.
Totally. If you're paying that amount of money, you want a camera that feels like a 6K camera. Yeah. Whereas the Sony is just like, okay, that's cool tech that no other cameras have.
Well, once you're on the spec games, there's no end. When you're for joy, you choose the one you like.
Just pure passion. I'll take this every time.
There's no set logic with buying cameras. It cannot be decided by specs alone. The camera you use has to make you feel good about the shooting process and be as conducive to making great images that you'll enjoy. Although the SL3 might have a couple of little shortcomings here and there, but ultimately it's a camera that you'll love and love to use, and you can't really put a price on that.
Honestly, I think this one looks better.
So this has got phase detection. But it's got phase detection. Let me sound more surprised. It's really smeared. Could be feces. Somebody could have just run out of toilet paper in the woods and just like, okay, wipe on the window. Here's me, okay. You could say like, oh, you know, Sony does this, or you know, another camera does this for much cheaper. Don't think that way. You can't think of like, okay, all of these knives do the same thing, but there's some knives which you pay premium on. It just feels like, it feels better when you're cutting it. It's a little bit sharper, and it feels nicely made. I'm happy to pay that premium on it. Of course, I just use cheap, shitty knives, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
You know what? Instead of showing photos of a forest, I'll just take pictures of somebody else's pictures.
And call it for the day.
Yeah. Almost 100 years old. So I wonder if next year they're going to reissue this camera. I don't know if anyone's going to actually use that.
Oh, selfie. It works.
Probably a bit tight, isn't it?
Let me press show you one more. One more.
Hello, my name's Ian Wang and I'll be taking you through my TripAdvisor review in 8K of the Leitz Hotel Wetzlar in Germany. Hopefully I'm in the frame because there's no tilty flippy screen, so I don't know if I'm in the shot or not. Let's go. Here we have a triage of oversized lights which is large enough for even the most ham-fisted of people. Okie dokie, so over here we have a semi-open area for defecating in and also cleaning your bottom afterwards. So in here is where we empty our bowels. We have two hangers here if, like me, you like to hang up your underpants when having a poo-poo. Great thing with this toilet is that if you open the door, you have an unobstructed view of the TV. That allows you to watch TV while defecating, and I call that pragmatic pooping. Over here, a rainforest shower. I've never been in a rainforest, so I can't tell you if it's like a rainforest. And that's stuff to make your bum smell good. However, I found out that after about 30 minutes of vigorous scrubbing of my body while showering, my routine is usually head to toe. Head to toe. The routine is usually head to toe. Lift. Lift. The water down here encroached the open area here. Wall-mounted temperature control, wall-mounted TV, everything's wall-mounted, which is fantastic if you... Anyway, so it's got a TV, but it's all in German.